Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you a few, I guess, key takeaways or final thoughts on Chapter 3 about the court system. The first is it's really important to understand that there are two different court systems in the United States, a federal court and a state court, and that both of these court systems work at the same time. Typically, the state's hearing state issues and the federal hearing federal issues, although sometimes there's some bleed over. But the idea of jurisdiction, that your case should be heard in the court that has the right to hear the course, is an important one in the United States system. Mostly, to be fair to everybody involved, the court that has jurisdiction should be the one to hear the case. Recognize also that a lot of cases never go to court. That's because going to court, the whole process of litigating is very expensive, and so most businesses will try as hard as they can to avoid going to court. This means trying to solve disputes through informal processes, just talking it out, or through more formal alternative dispute resolution processes, such as mediation or arbitration. Also recognize that mediation is non-binding, meaning typically it's just a mediator who tries to work with both parties and help them come to a solution. Whereas arbitration, there is such a thing as non-binding arbitration, but most arbitration is binding, meaning the arbitrator will make a decision and then you're stuck with it. The courts consistently uphold arbitration awards because they're contractual agreements that both parties agreed to listen to and follow the rules of the arbitrator. And then also recognize that you are a party to a number of arbitration agreements, probably already, that even though you don't realize it. If you do business with a cable company or a phone company or a bank, when you sign your agreements, you're agreeing to arbitration almost always. Again, that's because these big companies know that they do not want to go to court because of the cost of it. And so if you ever have a disagreement with the bank and you can't solve it, you can't solve that disagreement informally, then your next step will be to go to arbitration. So as you move forward into the world as business owners and business leaders, recognize the same thing that big businesses already recognize, which is you don't want to litigate if you can help it. And consider arbitration or other informal means of solving your differences so that you can stay out of the court system as much as possible. The next chapter, we're going to talk about the Constitution. So not only are we going to get a good review of what's in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, we'll talk about all the amendments, but we'll focus primarily on the Bill of Rights, but especially some of the articles of the Constitution discuss some specific powers of Congress and how they relate to business and commerce. And that has had a huge impact on the environment that we're in today, where we face a great deal of federal regulation, sometimes even in small local businesses. So that's what's coming up in Chapter 4. I hope you have a great week, and hope you can get a start on the reading for Chapter 4.